What is something you really don't like, but wished you did? The same things that my friends like. Yup, it sucks when you want to hang out with them but really don't want to do whatever they're about to do. I feel that love is created when two people want to do the same thing at the same time over and over again. Work. I take back my answer. This is definitely it. 5 years into the workforce and I still haven't found something that I don't hate after just a year. I'm pretty sure, no way to know for sure, that if I had to do anything that I currently enjoy for work, I would hate it in less than a year. The idea of being forced to do something just sucks all of the fun out of it. If you're looking for fun, then you're right, work will never be fun long term. My life got a lot better when I changed my perspective on this. What I look for is work that's satisfying, not necessarily enjoyable. For me that means doing something I can do well, that is moderately challenging and not overly monotonous, that I can see value in, with mutual respect between myself and my colleagues. I've found all that in sandwich shops, in offices, in manual labor, ... As long as it's satisfying and not all-consuming, I'm a happy camper. Getting out. My GF is the kind of person who always says yes when her family is planning a trip or a party over the weekend. Over the course of our relationship I try to enjoy these sudden appointments, but they still stress the shit out of me. Dancing. I fucking hate it. When I go to a wedding, I always dance with my wife and pretend I'm having fun because I know she really loves it. But I'm dying inside. I wish I didn't feel that way, but I do. ... And it's super hard to explain because it's so incredibly obvious that it brings many folks so much joy. Every time I've tried to describe it, everyone assumes that I enjoy it, like they do, but I'm too embarrassed or something. No, I literally just don't enjoy it. It's not that embarrassment is greater than enjoyment. It's that there's no enjoyment. That being said, I love being around people dancing. Such a good vibe. I just don't get into it myself. Some of the TV shows my wife likes. She's into the hour-long TV dramas like This Is Us and Parenthood. I can't stand them. It's entirely too much forced drama with little to no happy moments. People always fighting over something. I'm right there with you. For me, I want TV and movies to be vacations from reality. I want robots, battle axes and spaceships. I want light-hearted adventure, where the main cast doesn't die and everything resets at the end of the episode. I want contained stories each week. I want to watch a 45 minutes episode where I'm not asked to care about an issue. I want to watch some people solve a problem with action, wit and cunning, not personal problems. I want the episode to leave me with a good feeling, not saying, oh shit, ... wow, ... geez, ... TV is so fucking grim these days. I just want an escape from real life for an hour. Get you some British murder mysteries, bro. The quaint or early settings lend to the escapism and make it all a bit less stressful. Simpler people, simpler times, satisfying resolutions. Running. I'm even fairly decent at it and try to run at least 30 mpw. But I hate every second of it. I've never experienced the runner's high that seemingly everyone else gets. Yep, my dad, who is turning 60 this year, is training for his second marathon. And my sister thinks a nice run is about 6 miles. Meanwhile, I'm a 37-year-old sedentary software engineer. A couple years ago, I decided that if they can do it, I can do it, and started trying to become a runner. Quote, about 2 weeks into my training plan. Quote, I realized one very important fact: I absolutely hate it. Before I have plantar fasciitis, I used to jog 3 miles a few times a week for years. I remember there was maybe 3 to 4 times when I positively wanted to go jogging out of about 10 years. I hated it almost every single time. On the other hand, I'm glad I'm able to pull through that 3 miles almost every single time. Healthy food. I recently lost weight after I started cooking myself. It becomes a chore a bit, so you don't eat as often and you can choose the healthy ingredients that you like, so your food will naturally be healthy in comparison. Not like slim yet, but my second chin is roughly gone. Is your second chin gone because you ate it when you started cooking yourself? Coffee and tea. They have their own cultures that I feel like I'm missing out on and will never understand. Well, for me, coffee and beer are really the only two drinks I have outside of water, of course. And both were very much acquired tastes. Lobster. I live on the coast of Maine. I can go down to the boats and buy it fresh from people I know for a couple bucks a pound. And I hate lobster. I hate lobster and seafood. My husband is a lobster fisherman. He only eats about one lobster a year himself. We joke that any good dealer doesn't smoke his own stash. Clubbing. Gosh, I wish it brought me joy. Doesn't bring much joy to the baby seals either. This comment right here, officer. Pineapples, because I'm from Hawaii and they look so damn good and refreshing, but every time I go back in life, maybe I do actually like pineapples and I'm just trying to be different. I realize once again that no, I don't like pineapples at all. SNAAAAP. I'm sorry to hear that. I think pineapples are the most amazing fruit in existence. TBH. That would suck. Watching sports. Seems like a lot of people I know enjoy watching and discussing sports, players, etc., and socialize through it. As for me, I kinda just have to sit quietly until the topic changes. At least you sit quietly and politely. If I was there, I'd acknowledge it and try to change the subject. I have specific friends who will at the mention of sports and force in a sports ball joke to exemplify how fucking above the norm they are. Adventurous first dates. I really wish I was that guy that would enjoy going karaoke or kayaking or salsa dancing with a relative stranger, but man, I just don't have it in me. I'm an anxious person. These things would cause me to feel anxious if I did them in the company of my closest friends, although I'd feel a lot more at ease. I would feel far too anxious to do it with someone who is, a, more or less a stranger, and b, someone I actively want to impress. I'm a dinner or drinks kind of guy. But I think in 2019 that makes you a little boring. Watching movies. It's really hard these days because I have such a short attention span. I have to put on a movie a few times before I finally get into it. I've seen John Wick 100 times but couldn't tell you the plot. Don't force it. If you're not into movies, then you're not into movies. Nothing wrong with that, but if you really want to watch a movie, I suggest getting to a treadmill with a tablet and watch the movie while exercising. You don't have any other distraction this way, but you may have to put the speed very low in order to withstand the whole duration. I tried to go on the exercise bike while watching movies, only to have the opposite problem. I'd get caught up in the movie and realize my legs had stopped moving. Maths. I had terrible teachers who put me off the subject. Quick math is such an important life skill, but here I am lost without a calculator. I feel like I have a mental block whenever I try to get back into math. Are you that woman who came to my register 5 or 6 years ago with a tab of $17? Wrote a $2 tip, then stared blankly at the total line for 5 seconds before pulling out her phone to do 17 plus 2. Beer. I live in a town that has as many breweries as people. It should be like a smorgasbord, but I don't like it. It's like being vegan in Wisconsin. Or not liking beer in Wisconsin, lol. Ride roller coasters. It may seem like a wimpy thing to say, but I have a very big phobia of death. Like it's very possible they could break at the worst moment and you could die. What sucks is having to explain it to people. Why don't you wanna ride? Well, it turns out roller coasters are a torture chamber for me and I get no enjoyment out of it. Quote. Working out. People say keep it up for a while and you'll eventually just enjoy it, but I never did. Now that I have an internship which is a taste of the real world, I can't even imagine spending a bit of my limited free time at the gym because my hobbies are the only things that keep me alive and I don't want to replace part of that time with something I hate. Working out is not enjoyable in the way that most people think of the word. Like eating a nice meal, hanging out with friends, family, etc. However, I find great satisfaction and meaning from the discipline of working out consistently and watching my diet. I also look better, feel better, and also it seems like people just respect me more based on my personal appearance. Which is nice. Luckily for me, there's a part of me that actually enjoys the gym. But it's personal discipline that keeps me going back more than anything.